Hello everyone and welcome back to the Purveyor in Fallout 76. It turns out that you guys like these Scrip videos, so I'm going to keep making them. If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of the Fallout 76 content I upload every week. We've had pretty good luck with Mama Mumbles on our last couple of trips, so let's see what she's got in store for us today. And our first roll is a troubleshooter's laser pistol with VATS hit chance and movement speed while aiming. Well, you could convert it into a rifle, which is fine. Unfortunately, it's a very situational effect. The VATS effect is good, but it's just too situational to really be particularly useful for anybody. A Stalker's Western revolver with better critical damage and less VATS AP cost. The VATS effects are pretty good. Unfortunately, Stalker's isn't. We've talked about this before. VATS in 76 is just too buggy on the first shot for this to be reliable. More often than not, you're just going to give up half your AP and still miss. Sorry, this one is a big thumbs down. And next up, we've got an Assassin's Radium Rifle with limb damage and 50 damage resistance while aiming. And the good news about this is that it's worth 40 Scrip because it's a 3-star weapon. Unfortunately, Assassin's is just terrible. It serves no useful purpose whatsoever. Even if you're into PvP, you're going to be using something else. This one is just not a good roll unless you're just a mega radium rifle enthusiast. And here we go. Now we're getting a little better. Bloody double-barrel shotgun with limb damage and agility. Very good roll. This one is an absolute powerhouse. You're going to do a ton of damage when your health is low. Limb damage is exactly what we want on a shotgun, so when you do use it against bosses, you can cripple their limbs. Agility is always good. A little extra AP never hurt anybody. Definitely a very, very solid roll. The first one today. Ouch. Suppressor's missile launcher with faster fire rate and VATS critical meter fills 15% faster. Yeah, this one's pure Scrip. Suppressors is just not a particularly useful effect. Maybe in the future it will be if there's new enemies that we can use that, but missile launchers just aren't good. Faster fire rate on missile launchers just aren't good. It's super heavy. This is going to be the first to the Scrip bin. Alright, a Medic's Cryolator with bashing damage and VATS critical meter fills 15% faster. Now, you're probably thinking this is garbage and is going to go right in the Scrip bin, and for a lot of players, it probably is. But I don't think this is garbage. This is a potentially very useful drop. With the new Colossal Problem event coming out, with Encrypted, with the Scorch Beast Queen, cryolating and freezing and slowing down those big bosses is useful. And if in the process you can also heal your team, that's pretty useful too. And because VATS criticals are what heals your team, that meter filling faster is important. This is a good roll for someone. Not most people, but it isn't bad. Now, while that one wasn't bad, this one is. Mutant Slayer's combat rifle with VATS critical shots doing more damage and faster reload. Those second two effects are great. They're fine, perfectly usable. The damage to super mutants, unfortunately, it's just too situational. And we're hit with Stalkers again. Here we go. 10% damage while aiming. 90% reduced weight. 90% reduced weight is nice. Damage while aiming is fine, but the Stalker's effect is just not a good one for the reasons we discussed earlier. So unfortunately, looks like today's trip to Mama Mumbles is not quite as good as the last two. Alright, this is a little better. Anti-armor minigun with bashing damage and perception. Little extra perception never hurt anybody. Bashing damage is largely useless, except in the case of the minigun, where if you put the shredding barrel on it, you can do some pretty decent damage with that. Anti-armor is a really good effect to have on a minigun because it's one of those weapons that does low damage per shot, so that extra armor penetration is good to help you defeat your enemy's armor curve. Not a bad roll. All right, and we're going to wrap it up with a Mutant Tesla rifle with better VATS critical damage and 90% reduced weight. Now, you might look at this one kind of like that Medic's Cryolator and think, this is not very good, but this is another one that serves a very specific use case, and its third effect helps that a lot. For a lot of events where you have big mobs of enemies and you just want to tag everything, but you don't really want to be that person that shows up and murders everything in sight before anybody else gets a hit in, Tesla rifles are perfect for those kinds of events. Events like Radiation Rumble, events like Line in the Sand. This is not a bad one for that. Now, for most players, we don't want to carry around a big heavy weapon to do that, so a 90% reduced weight Tesla rifle does that just fine. It doesn't have to do amazing damage, it just needs to tag everything, and that's what that weapon is going to do for us. So not a bad one to round out the day. That's gonna do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Not our best visit to Mama Mumble's Discount Disappointment Emporium, but far from the worst. As always, if you enjoyed this, found it useful, or anything in between, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Fisty McRib.